Carolina. It's the ACC on ESPN. It's the North Carolina Tar Heels and the NC State Wolfpack from the Dean Smith Center. Dave O'Brien and Doris Burke with you. They are ready to rock and roll. The building is sold out. And Doris, both of these teams want to get to 100 points.
When you think you're playing fast, these coaches want you to go faster. Advantage in the first matchup, 39 fast break points for NC State. Roy Williams felt like his team was too casual. Don't expect that here at home.
All right, let's give you a look at the starting lineups presented by Michelin. And you're talking about a smaller North Carolina lineup now that P.J. Harrison at 6'5" is in there.
Which means he guards up the dynamic C.J. Leslie. The other one to keep an eye on, the point guard matchup. Lorenzo Brown used experience and dynamic skills to take the freshman Marcus Page to school that first time around.
Well, it's a terrific rivalry, obviously. North Carolina State coming in 19-7. North Carolina at 18-8. The rematch of the game that NC State ran away with the first time they played in Raleigh. And we are underway, but they're going to tip again, perhaps.
Mr. McAdoo, I think, got it on the way up. Mr. Maxwell going to say, sir, you can't do that.
Gary Maxwell, Ray Natili, and Doug Sermons. So it'll be North Carolina State with a basketball here. And here's Lorenzo Brown with the basketball in the backcourt. They are delighted. He is close to 100%, but after an ankle sprain, not quite there. But without him, they're a different team.
He is dynamic in transition. Very hard to guard in half court.
Wood with a catch. The shot off target. Warren with a rebound and up and in. The freshman with 2.
Well, 13 rebounds the last time out. And the reason he's in the starting lineup, or at least part of it, because Mark Gottfried felt like they needed to be a better rebounding team.
Bullock from 18 contested. No. Warren picks the rebound. Brown, one of the best passers in the conference. Down low, Howell, one dribble down and up and in. A strong move.
You can see what they want to do in transition. And Brown has got great vision and skill to get between guys with his handle.
Page bouncing on the baseline. McAdoo trying to riddle there, but it's Howell to block it and out of bounds off North Carolina.
If you're playing smaller in your Carolina, your guards all year have been a part of your rebounding. You can see the weak side. Mr. Warren uses that great frame. Boy, his frame does not look very much like a typical college freshman.
Surely does not, and he had a brilliant game against Florida State. 31 points, 13 rebounds. C.J. Leslie, the enigmatic star of the Wolfpack, has it tipped away, stolen by Carolina. Page, the freshman point guard, off to Hairston. Got it. As the season has gone on, the ACC schedule, his shooting percentage has been going up, up, up.
Well, he gives everybody around him more confidence. When Hubert was in the starting lineup, maybe a little bit bigger and better defensively, but Hairston opens things. Gonna have to use a timeout here if you're Brown.
Timeout, NC State. 18-18 to go here in the first half. And North Carolina took a couple of minutes to wake up, but they're certainly awake now.
Well, Roy Williams said they were casual, and they got it handed to them in the first half on the road in Raleigh. Well, Mr. Hairston now, who is increasingly confident on the offensive end. We had him about a month ago, and I looked at this guy's frame and game and thought, and said to you, Dave, why on any given night would this guy not be in double digits? Look at what he has done in the last 8 games from 3.
38% overall. It wasn't that long ago. He was down in the 20s. That's from three-point lands. He's just gotten better and better. Well, the Wolfpack hasn't swept the season series from North Carolina since 2003. So trying to do that here this afternoon.
Can you imagine the water coolers tomorrow if you're an NC State fan and you walked out of here with a win?
Wolfpack, the top scoring team in the conference. Warren airborne, and that's going to be an offensive foul. A charge on the freshman.
Really sound rotation. And, you know, kids like to start. And I have no doubt that Mr. Hairston likes to start. Watch this rotation defensively. Just excellent read. The reason that's possible is because he's in good health position to start with.
Bullock on Leslie. Bouncing here for Strickland. The senior kicks it back out top. Oh, they ran a beautiful play there, rolling in Strickland for two.
I think one thing you'll notice is how much better the spacing is for Carolina and how much more driving room there is for the guys around P.J. Hairston.
So Carolina has taken a 1-point lead. NC State, an excellent shooting team. They have been all year long. Wood's a big reason why. The bounce for Leslie, slicing in, lays it off for the deuce. Powell with the basket.
Love the unselfish play. I mean, Leslie is dynamic and scores in traffic easily, but finds his teammate for a better shot. That's nicely done.
Long jumper, and off the back iron by Page. Big rebound, McAdoo, and can't connect. And now whistle and a foul. That'll go the other way. It'll be against Hairston, I believe. And that will be his first foul. He was upset at the call. We're about 3 minutes in.
A very good job controlling his emotion. Let's see, did they get him over the back? See, I think he's frustrated because that's like a 50-50 ball.
Yeah.
And he feels like it's loose,
Ooh.
but that's what the officials saw, and that's why the whistle was blown.
NC State, good start shooting it. They've made 3 of their first 4. Leslie out high, averaging 16 and 8. The bounce picked off. Strickland stuffed it. Quickly, a strike on the other end by Lorenzo Brown.
If you allow that guy a head of steam in transition, look out. Either as a scorer or a distributor, he's dangerous. And I'll say this to you. This matchup was on Saturday prime time, and the NC State fans are ready. Carolina's fans are ready today.
They sure are. They are in full throat. Strickland kicks it back out. Bullock, good look. And it spins out. Boy, it hung on that rim forever. 8-7 NC State. The Wolfpack had that spectacular first half. It was like a track meet. Leslie trying to pull his way in and does for 2.
Well, I thought that could have been an and one. Yeah, you're right. They were up 20 zip fast break points.
Bullock stepping through, slapped away by Warren. It'll be Carolina ball. And we have a timeout under 16. 10-7. NC State with the early 3-point lead at Chapel Hill. Carolina, NC State ahead by 3, and tomorrow afternoon at 1 o'clock Eastern, ESPN brings you a Big Ten battle. The Fighting Illini looking to score an upset. They hit the road to face number 7 Michigan. It's Sunday Showcase on ESPN, and watch ESPN.
Well, there's so much momentum right now for Victor Oladipo, not only as Big Ten Player of the Year, but perhaps as National Player of the Year. As you and I have said all along, we believe Trey Burke has got to be in consideration for National Player of the Year. He'll have a big stage tomorrow on which to make his case.
And North Carolina leading the all-time series with NC State, 147-76. Leslie McDonald now into the ball game. The outstanding 6'5" junior shooter can really fill it up from beyond 3. He gets it here, tight to the sideline, and back up top for Hairston. And they swing it around for Strickland. Bullock off the screen, can't drain it. Big rebound, Howell, who has 3 already. Leslie trying to get inside that lane. A lot of contact, no whistle, and now there isn't. It's a travel on C.J. Leslie. 4 turnovers for the Wolfpack.
I love the entire sequence for the official. I thought this was a good no call because I thought this was a flop. And then he does, looks like, pick up the pivot. And interesting to note now, Carolina has 7 points. All of them have come off of North Carolina State turnovers. So the Wolfpack helping Carolina at least early.
Bullock off the fake, fires up a long one. That one he drains, a 3-pointer to tie it at 10.
He is dangerous.
Boy, the deflection back to Wood, and he'll lay it in. He was Johnny on the spot. Little fortuitous.
Pays to run the floor hard.
Yes, he did benefit from that. Bullock again. Hairston. Strickland, great penetration to lay it in. Dexter Strickland, the senior from New Jersey, with 6 points. That's a big trend early.
Well, what's happening is the floor is spaced. I talked about driving angles. That was a case in point.
turned over by NC State 5 times already.
Remember what I said, look at the kind of space he's going to get because Hairston's out here. What does the small lineup mean for Carolina? It means driving angles, and perhaps nobody more happy about that than Mr. Strickland, because that's his game.
Tyler Lewis checking in for NC State. He's the freshman who subbed for Lorenzo Brown when Brown was out with that sprained ankle and got a ton of minutes.
Well, he looks so much more confident than he did earlier in the year. You could tell the kid knows how to play the point guard position.
Tough shot, partially deflected. Brown running the point. The bounce for Lewis. Now Brown takes it back for 3, and it's in and out. Boy, Howell somehow took that down and kept his footing, and now he leaves it out of bounds. An acrobatic play. I'm not sure how he kept from turning it over the first time.
I'll tell you what, this guy's been so consistent. You and I talked pregame. Watch this guy get up for the board and somehow not commit a travel. And he thought his teammate was going to take the ball from him. That's why they turned it over.
I think Howell remains one of the more underrated players, as far as star players in any conference in the country.
No doubt. Consistent rebounder, physical force.
Strickland will fire. Way too long.
Those are the shots that drive you crazy with Dexter Strickland. That's just a poor look right there. And something that pinched Carolina was their shot selection first time against NC State.
Knotted at 12 apiece. Lewis on the cut. Back out for Wood to fire it. That's exactly what they want. A three-pointer. He hits 44%.
That, to me, is the importance of Brown and Lewis playing together. You've got 2 point guard mentalities. How quickly do they move the ball?
Way downtown, Bullock. Yes. Tied at 15. Outstanding early pace between these two.
Exactly what we expected.
Howell batted away by Strickland and out of bounds. 12:46 to go. Substitutions now. Hubert coming on along with Page for Carolina.
Mark Godfrey came over to us before the game today and said in the first matchup, the pace is going up and down. He said, I look down at Roy, he doesn't seem to be making a move to make a timeout. He goes, you know, I'm not calling timeout. He said the players were hoping for a stoppage of play.
He said 10 guys who are breathing pretty hard. The coaches want them to do exactly what they were doing. Wood catches, fires, and it's off the back iron. Bullock with the rebound. He'll give it off to the guard, Page, the freshman from Iowa. McDonald takes it. Bullock wants to fire again. Tipped. McAdoo can't get it to go.
That's got to be his board. I like how assertively he's going to the offensive glass, but two-hand that one and make sure you get possession.
He's coming off 11 rebounds against Georgia Tech. He's had a very good year on the glass. Whistle here with 12:08 to go. And Leslie will check in.
There's still another level to me, though, for Mr. McAdoo. He's coming off 22 points, 11 boards, but prior to that, 3 single-digit games against high-caliber competition. He's got to be better than that in big games.
Well, this certainly qualifies. So far, he has not scored. Tipped away by McDonald, but Leslie tries to pick it up. It's loose. He goes down. And a tie-up. Possessioner will take it to the other end. It'll be Carolina ball. 7 turnovers already for NC State. We're tied at 15 here at the Smith Center. But not all within its borders believe the sky is Carolina blue. Some back the red of the Wolfpack. Unless you live and breathe it, you may not realize the fierce rivalry it truly is. Roy Williams certainly does. Choose a side, and the decision lasts a lifetime. NC State triumphed in Raleigh last month, beating a Williams-led Carolina team for just the second time. But the Wolfpack has never beaten Roy's Tar Heels here in Blue Heaven. Will today be the day in the rivalry's latest chapter? North Carolina, NC State. The Saturday Showcase on ESPN presented by 5-Hour Energy. We welcome you to the ACC on ESPN. Today, NC State going for its first sweep of the regular season series with Carolina in a decade.
But a lot of bragging rights on the line today. We give you a look at the ACC standings. The big story this afternoon, Miami has finally lost in conference play. The Canes are now 13-1. They were beaten at Wake Forest handily, so that certainly improves the chances for Duke to run down Miami. Here we're tied at 15. North Carolina has the basketball. McAdoo trying to dump it down low, and Bullock did not expect it. First time Carolina's turned it over. So there you go. NC State, North Carolina, and Virginia in a three-way tie for third place.
Well, if you do, Virginia Tech has become your greatest ally for the midweek game against the Hurricanes, because then the following Saturday Miami Duke rematch would change drastically.
At Cameron Indoor, we will have it for you on ESPN. On the drive, Leslie, little bump there, and swatted away by Hubert. Well, he's gone from starter to bench player. His minutes are way down, but he didn't look like it affected him there.
Well, this is his ability. He's not going to help you much on the offensive end, but length, athleticism, timing, shot blocking, yes, sir. He's got all of those things, and you're right. It's been a shorter rotation, not only for Hubert, but for other guys like Jackson Simmons and Tokoto.
Lewis airborne, got in the air, spinning now Leslie. Tough shot, no. He's had a difficult first half.
5 turnovers for him already.
McDonald swings it in, McAdoo with a turn, got it. His first bucket. Carolina by 2. So far, also a very quiet start for T.J. Warren, who's coming off 31. He grabs the loose ball, tried for the reverse and lost it. Carolina locked him up in the paint. Page in the open floor. Jump shot on the way. McDonald with a misfire. Well, these teams want to get it and go. Here's Wood with a 3. Yes! That's like a layup for him.
Yeah, one thing Carolina is not doing is rebounding the basketball game. C.J. Leslie's turnovers are helping this team thus far, but they've got to do a better job on the backboards.
On the drive, McAdoo with a really strong move all the way to the iron. Is he starting to heat up? Carolina by 1. Brown with the kick. Lewis with a 3. Bullock there to grab the rebound.
And all season long, you are going to see Bullock has been outstanding on the glass. Their guards must rebound, and it's going to be a foul on Tyler Lewis.
Page fouled on the baseline. Well, it's a full day of NBA action tomorrow on ABC and ESPN at 1 Eastern. The Lakers and Mavs on ABC. Then at 7 on ESPN, the Grizzlies head to Brooklyn to take on the Nets. At 9:30, Thunder and the Bulls. NBA Sunday presented by State Farm on ABC and ESPN tomorrow. Under 10 to play in the first half. Quick moving half. We expected that. Round the back, Harrison in the lane. Rebound tipped and out of play. And the officials disagreed initially on the call, but it's out of play and will be NC State ball.
So Tokoto in the game, Bryce Johnson in the game. Sticking with Page, Strickland, and Hairston as your starters. So let's see, does NC State sort of make some headway here with some reserves on the floor?
Foul out high. Here's Lorenzo Brown, the #1 assist man in the conference. Wood starting to feel it, but he misses there. The rebound high out to Leslie.
They run very good stuff to give him shots. You see that play where they double screen for him at the free throw line. He does a really nice job feeling where the defender's trailing him.
Purvis, who is now coming off the bench after starting most of the first 25 or so games. He's a freshman.
How does he respond? You can see the rebound margin I touched on.
Leslie strong into the lane, a whistle, and he got hit. He'll go to the line. C.J. Leslie, the junior from Holly Springs, North Carolina. And a foul will go on Hairston, his second. So Leslie, not an accomplished foul shooter at 64%. 8:49 to go in the half. So far, 2 points. McAdoo will check back in for Carolina, Doris.
Yeah, you know, C.J. Leslie, I'm thinking before the game, because you and I have talked about this. There are stretches, and they could be 6, 7, 8 minutes long. This guy, he's unguardable. He's 5th in the ACC in scoring, 9th in rebounding, and he shoots 54%. Can you imagine if that guy were consistent in his approach? He'd be unbelievable.
That's been said of him by more than one coach. But he can be spectacular. Page won't shoot it. Johnson, tough pass, difficult catch, and McAdoo couldn't convert. Now on the run, Purvis wants to beat everybody. Blocked by Johnson with a foul. Well, a lot of disagreement in the stands over that whistle. 8:26 left. Take a look.
Wow, you got serious athlete there. Bryce Johnson trying to guard in transition. The crowd just getting a look at it. Oh, it was like a good block to me.
Sure did. We'll take another look. Well, he seemed like he timed that perfectly, didn't he?
Perfectly. And remember this, folks. Even if you touch the hand of the shooter, if you're touching the basketball at the same time, it is not a foul.
Approaching 8 minutes to go. Very entertaining first half. Tokoto. Page back up top.
State, last 2 possessions defensively. Looking at a little bit of a zone, Carolina.
Page is open. Going to drive it on that baseline. And off and they turn it over. Out in front, Purvis. Talk about this being a bit of a track meet. He's quicker than anybody right now.
Well, the turnovers are what we talked about in the first matchup that led to transition opportunities. State is one of the best offenses in the country. You've got to make them execute, slow them down. Turnovers, your offense has to help your defense.
In the first half when they met in Raleigh back in January, as Johnson knocks one down on the baseline, NC State outscored Carolina in transition points 20-0. That just doesn't happen.
At practice yesterday, Roy Williams said that about 6 times to his guys. He said, you are far too casual.
Johnson with the rebound. Carolina and NC State tied at 21. McAdoo on the spin trying to untie it. Left it well short. You could see where Bryce Johnson is going to have a chance to develop. Down goes McAdoo. Leslie short. Howell with another rebound. That's number 7 for him, taken away from Leslie, whose head just isn't in it right now.
6 turnovers. 6.
That's in the first half for C.J. Leslie. Of course, you count him out at your own peril. Johnson again, that's his shot on the baseline. It did not spin in, but Carolina will keep it.
It's nip and tuck. We got 2 rivals. NC State got the best of Carolina in the first game. A turnover leads to transition opportunities. And Mr. Purvis, how will you react to coming off the bench? Good start for him. Team that averages almost 79 points per game. North Carolina State can scare you on the offensive end. 5 double-digit scores, good inside-outside balance. They, along with Duke, are the only 2 teams in the ACC with 5 double-digit scores. And think about this, Purvis is right there. He's a little over 8 points per game. And look at the field goal percentage. 5th in the NCAA. There was a time, Dave, where they were number 1 in the country in field goal percentage.
And 9 out of 18 so far today. We've had 5 ties, 8 lead changes. So the pace has been frenetic and very entertaining. James Michael McAdoo handing off for Bullock. Wants to fire it up there. He's got that little leg kick. When he gets airborne, kicks both feet. But an interesting shooting style. Very effective, 44% from 3.
I didn't love the shot, though. You know, their shot selection has got to be on point, because if it isn't, you're helping a State team that's so dangerous. Listen, do you think NC State wants to guard for the full shot clock? Absolutely not.
Not really their style.
No.
Purvis to Howell, who's already ranked 9 rebounds down. Warren wants to make a move here on Bullock, and now bad pass. Harrison picked it. Up ahead, Bullock, looping pass. He'll lay it up and in. Carolina retaking the lead.
Bullock will tell you he feels more confident when Hairston's on the floor, and you can see why.
Here comes the crowd, big time. Well, they've been in it since the opening seconds. The bounce off the fingertips of Purvis. Shot clock at 15 for the Wolfpack. Brown over Page. Banked it in.
Wow.
That was not what he intended, I don't think.
No, and Marcus Page can't hang his head because he did everything right. He stayed between Brown and the basket, and he was there for the challenge. Don't hang your head, young man.
I think that's exactly what Roy Williams told him when he started to bring the ball up. Get up there. You have nothing to be sorry about. He made the shot. Page with a quick step to his left. Not there. Warren really defended him well. Now it's kicked in the paint. Out it rolls. A scramble. Strickland lost it. But it's going to be off of Brown.
Yesterday at practice, Roy Williams told his guys, the first time there's a loose ball and you don't hit the deck, I will take you out and you will not play until April. Well, folks, this team got the message. Watch this. The first jersey to the floor is a white jersey. McAdoo is down. And then Mr. Strickland says, I want my PT, Dave O'Brien. I'm hitting the deck.
Lorenzo Brown reached in with a left hand and tapped it out of play. Shot clock at 3. They got to get it in the air. Hairston usually the man. Quickly to the other end. Rapid fire. Purvis with a miss. Now Page wants to run. Here's Hairston. And a reach-in foul by Warren. Back to that last 3.
I like P.J. Hairston as a player, and with the spacing and the kind of shooting, Bullock's right next to him. You don't push up in time. That's with length and size. Warren has got great size, and Hairston still drains it. His high school coach said, boy, if he explodes, you better look out.
I thought he was really under control the next time down. Here he fires again and off target.
That's a great point, because in transition you thought he might try to heat check it, but he made the right decision, that time the wrong decision.
I mean, you got a packed house, daring him, they want him to shoot. Here's McAdoo at the deck, then he steps in on the reverse. Another steal. Hairston off to McAdoo. Carolina running wild. Timeout, NC State.
Carolina on a 7-zip run, and James Michael McAdoo at least once a game is going to okie-doke you folks. He's going to step and jump the passing lane and turn it into transition points. And what a wealth of talent this young man possesses, and he's just scratching the surface.
He leads Carolina as you look at turnovers and points off turnovers in scoring, rebounding, and steals. Carolina, sticky defense, and they have a 7-point lead. And ending that is Purvis underneath and showing some emotion.
I love it. The kid has played with passion. You think he likes coming off the bench and losing his starting position? Absolutely not. But play through it.
Here's McAdoo handing off for Bullock. Hairston a hot hand. Page trying to reverse field. McAdoo for a 2-pointer. Now Lorenzo Brown trying to recapture the momentum for NC State. Purvis calling for the ball on the wing. A long 3, well short. Howell already 10 rebounds back up and in.
That guy, I tell you, he is undersold across the country. Guy just does all the dirty work.
It's the 41st time that he has had at least 10 rebounds in a game. McAdoo rolls in for 2. He has 8. Over the top, the catch by Howell. Strong, no. Bullock there. Strickland wants it. And now he'll wait for his teammates. Page. McAdoo into the lane. Hairston gets it back to McAdoo. They work well together. A foul on NC State.
Wow, if you're going to call that one, call the other end. If you're Mark Godfrey, that's got to be wildly frustrating. Carolina +5 right now, but he's hot at the officials, and he's got reason.
The frightening crash there at the NASCAR Nationwide coming up on the UPS halftime report.
Well, we showed you Mark Gottfried and his frustration going to break. This is Howell, okay? So to me, you either call both of these or neither of these. I thought McAdoo fouled Howell, and only one was called. It was the one right there on Howell checking McAdoo. Either one is or both are. You know what I'm saying? You can't. That's unfair.
Or both are not.
Yes, correct.
2:41. They both seem to be, as far as contact, pretty ticky-tack, but one was not a foul officially. Carolina to check it in. Leading at 32-27. Last 2:38 of the first half. McDonald, Simmons into the game, setting the screen. Strickland trying to penetrate. Johnson rolls off that. He'll fire. And it rolls off the iron. We welcome you to Chapel Hill, North Carolina. Saturday Showcase presented by 5R Energy. It's the last 2 minutes of the first half. What so far has been a very entertaining and high-paced first half, because you have the #1 and #2 offenses in the ACC going toe-to-toe today.
Well, C.J. Leslie's basically been a non-factor except in his turnovers.
Howell in close. He's had a big rebounding half. Leslie denied. Johnson got a hand on it. Big fight there in the middle of the lane. Finally, a whistle with 1:51 to go before halftime. We check out the standings in the ACC. The big story today, Miami has finally lost in conference play. They fell at Wake Forest, a game that was not close today.
And you've got these two teams, along with Virginia, sitting at 8-5 in the conference. Obviously, third place on the line today. But as much for Carolina is a bit of redemption after getting it handed to you at NC State in the first matchup in late January.
The final score was 91-83, but it wasn't close for most of it. Howell with another one coming, the 6'8 senior, averaging 13 points, 11 rebounds. He has 13 rebounds already here in the first half.
He has been a man and has helped North Carolina State to a sizable rebound advantage.
McDonald nearly lost it. Hands off for Simmons. Now here's Bullock to fire. And too long. And tapped out of play by James Michael McAdoo. Carolina coming in 18-8. NC State at 19-7. Most will tell you right now they're both in very good shape to make the NCAA tournament. As we come down the stretch of the ACC schedule, of course, that could change, and today could have a major influence. Down outside the three-point line. The turn by Howell. In and out. Well, I'll tell you what, the crowd has been in it from the get-go. That's going to be an offensive foul on Strickland. Actually going to get James Michael McAdoo on that one. That's #1 on McAdoo.
Well, they call it an illegal screen. James Michael McAdoo is pleading his case. Does he stick his hip out? See, when he put his left foot out like that, that draws the attention of the official. That's not a screen. That looks more like he's, you know, almost like he could trip the defender.
Lorenzo Brown battling his way back from a sprained ankle. Can't hit the short jumper. Tapped. Howell has it stripped, taken away by Carolina. Page in the open floor. Bullock gives it up. McDonald can really shoot it if he's left open for a millisecond. McAdoo stripped as he went into the lane, taken away by the Wolfpack. Howell got tied up with Simmons underneath the basket. They're both late to get back into the play. Brown off the window, no. 21 seconds before halftime.
A 4-point lead and an opportunity for one quality shot.
Page, the freshman guard. A lot of contact. Short. McAdoo got it. Found a chance to heave it across midcourt. He will not get it up. Did not get it up in time. 34-28. North Carolina bouncing back in fine fashion from the first meeting with NC State. Plus 12 rebounding margin for the Wolfpack, but Carolina 16 points off a lot of Wolfpack turnovers. 34-28.
Dave O'Brien and Doris Burke with you. And Doris, we said it at the top of the show. These two teams both want to get out and run. They both want to score 100. North Carolina has the transition going.
NC State helped them with that. Their turnovers led to transition opportunities. It was 12 State turnovers, resulting in 16 points off of those. I mean, that's just a poor pass that Dexter Strickland takes to the other end. Nice job defensively by Hairston to release contact and get it to his running mate Bullock. And on the other side, 51% of NC State's productivity on the season has come from the interior. They were 8 for 16 in the first half when they got it inside. Purvis did a nice job coming off the bench and playing with passion.
So we open up second half here. Leslie up top, NC State with the basketball. Leslie had a very quiet and turnover-prone first half. Howell underneath and hangs on the iron, but he can't get it to go. C.J. Leslie just 2 points, 6 turnovers in the first 20 minutes. Strickland slicing in and lays in the first basket, and that's the biggest lead of the day for North Carolina. Wood trying to counter. Off the front of the iron. Warren went for the board. Mishandled.
And that is Bullock outworking Warren.
Bullock with a great head fake, but Howell recovered. Howell had 13 rebounds in the first half. McAdoo, yes. Quick strikes for the Tar Heels.
It almost seems to me like McAdoo feels better when he's got a challenge on his jumper. Because when he's wide open, he doesn't finish with great consistency.
Al Brown, Leslie, Wood, and Warren on the floor for North Carolina State. Wood, one of the best shooters in America. Al squaring up and firing over McAdoo, and it's not there. Page guarded by Brown. The bounce. McAdoo on the baseline. Short. Lorenzo Brown with a rebound. He's directing traffic on the run. Wants to take it all the way. Here comes Bullock. A 2-on-2. Off for Strickland. And he throws it away. Trying to get it back into the corner for Reggie Bullock.
There's only 2 white jerseys sprinting in transition. McAdoo didn't even make it to half court in that opportunity.
A sold-out Smith Center. They were ready from the national anthem on. Leslie really has to get going if they're going to win this game. Warren with the rebound. Oh, he missed the bunny. That's as easy as it gets. McAdoo takes the entry. In close. Denied. Brown, a quick step on Bullock. Got around him, but a foul from behind. Bullock fouled him on the back.
Okay, now, I thought he got fouled 3 times coming up the floor.
I think you might be right. Take your pick.
It was only after the miss that the whistle blew. I literally thought he got fouled 3 times. There is contact on his back, and that's going to impact his ability to finish. The people in blue heaven, as you like to call it, disagree with me completely.
So Brown will be at the line where he hit 79%. He was terrific against North Carolina in the first meeting back in January. He had 20 points, 11 assists in that game.
He's not yet 100% from that ankle. So if there's moments in the game where Mr. Brown sort of tweaks that, as a player, it's a little bit scary. You know, it plays with your mind when you're less than 100% physically.
Brown makes the foul shots. An 8-point game. You see, North Carolina has yet to go to the line. And we're early in the second half. Strickland looking to penetrate. An airborne pass, not a good one, but it did get to him. Here's Hairston. Well, Carolina really turned that into something. It was so close to becoming a turnover. They lead by 10 again. Now, NC State has gone stone cold. They have missed their last 15, and finally Wood ends that. They missed their last 8 of the first half, their first 7 of the second half before that one. 40-33. Strickland won't shoot the jumper. James Michael McAdoo on the hard move to his right. No foul. Boy, I thought there was plenty of contact there.
Russ, no free throws. I thought he got hit as well.
Underneath Warren. Oh, beautifully done. And Warren for 2.
Boy, they change ends quickly, and just like that, 5-point game. So I think McAdoo's got to go more assertively to get the benefit of the doubt from the officials.
Page with a long jumper. Another rebound for guess who? Richard Howell. He had 16 points, 14 rebounds in game 1 against Carolina. 14 rebounds already.
Yeah, they had 3 guys with double-doubles the first matchup. That was impressive. Leslie
was one of those guys. He had 17 and 10. He's been a non-factor. Wood underneath where he usually doesn't like to work, but an easy 2 for him.
And Roy is hot. You know, they scored, and he wants them pushing the pace, make or miss, and he just gets Tokoto and McDonald off the bench. He's hot right now, Roy.
McAdoo forced the pass, got it back, but it's on the line and turned over to NC State. Timeout. It's hot in here. Carolina by 3.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is presented by 5 Hour Energy. What will you do in 5 hours? And in part by Volvo. Luxury cars designed around you. And Jordan, Dare to Fly.
With him, and then when he was out of the lineup for those 3 games with that sprained ankle.
That, to me, is one thing the NCAA Tournament Selection Committee will look at. That's why you think both of these teams are in. Brown leads the ACC in assists over 7, and he's the active leader with a 6 today. He's now at 520 career assists.
First team All-ACC. Who's your point guard? Might be Lorenzo Brown, Shane Larkin there. Howell with another strong move inside for 2.
Boy, when they've gotten the ball inside, they have finished at a high level. They are now 11 for 23 inside.
1-point game. NC State has sprung to life in the last 2 minutes. After a long stretch without a make, here's Bullock. Johnson went over the back, and he committed. Let's see now. They're going to get the foul on Purvis. It's going to be Rodney Purvis underneath him. Submarining Johnson, they say.
Interesting to note now, Mark Gottfried has taken C.J. Leslie out of the game. He's 1 for 6, 6 turnovers, just 2 boards. You know, how long is it before he comes back in? 5-second count. Good defense. You wonder if he rides this group, if they continue to play really hard, how long this young man sits.
North Carolina State last led when it was 21-19. That was a long time ago for C.J. Leslie and the Wolfpack, but they have an opportunity to reclaim the lead now as we approach 15 minutes to play. Al on the baseline calling for the ball up against Johnson, who's a very good shot blocker. Brown deep into the corner, shot clock at 10. Now he'll fire it up a rainbow, and that didn't touch anything. Howell went for it, he's on the line. So Carolina will have it.
They run that UCLA high post offense. Obviously, if they had their druthers, they'd get as much as they can in transition. You see, just 1 3-pointer made the advantage for Carolina, 4-3.
Roy Williams has never tasted a defeat against NC State while coaching North Carolina here at the Smith Center. He's 9-0 against the Wolfpack.
You could tell he was upset still. He had a bad taste in his mouth about the loss in Raleigh because of the way it happened.
Johnson spins and fires. He's very cagey on the baseline.
Yeah, he likes that turnaround jumper. He's going to get stronger.
Warren spins quickly and got rid of it so fast.
See how dangerous? Even when you score it, they're looking to get up the floor and score before you can dig in.
Wolfpack loves that quick strike. So does Carolina. McDonald beyond the 3. Well, you talk about Roy with a bad taste in his mouth after the first game. McDonald blocked from behind by Wood. And now a mad scramble for it. Strickland tried to free it. It's still loose. NC State trying to strike Purvis, and a block from behind by James Michael McAdoo. A terrific play. Now on the drive. Oh, Strickland went for the stuff, and he missed it. Brown into the lane, and he draws the whistle. Foul against North Carolina.
Well, you could tell their approach, Carolina, is drastically different. Look at the sprint by James Michael McAdoo. And then this, a missed opportunity. He took off a little bit too soon. Guy was ready to challenge him. I think he was afraid of the charge call, so he wanted to get off his feet quickly.
Michael could take off from there.
Yes.
It's a long way out. 13-25. Brown at the line at 79%. We go back to our point guard matchup. It's been a pretty good one today. Tied at 42. Lorenzo Brown, one of the best in the country.
Marcus Page at the last break, 7 assists, 0 turnovers. Now, he is a scoring point guard, so those 2 points are in focus, but he's been solid with the ball today, and that's the most important thing.
Shot there of Roy Williams, who is under the weather. He's battling a pretty bad cold. But in the middle of the season, he's not only coaching big games like this against NC State, he's out recruiting as well, back and forth, so tough to get well.
It is a grind, this profession.
Wolfpack fans will have very little sympathy. I'm sure. Page thought about it. He'll drive it on the line and lays it up. No.
Wow.
Big rebound by Tokoto.
Luke Davis getting some minutes right now.
Davis handing off here for Page. Simmons setting that high screen. Now they'll swing it for Tokoto. Just went airborne up and over everybody. Shot clock down to 12. Here's Page. Got it. He hits the three. His first points.
Well, with Luke on the floor, he gets him off the ball. They're playing more of that 2-guard role, and the fans are on their feet.
11 lead changes. Woods fires a line driver for 3. Boy, he just needs a tiny sliver of a window to get it off.
They're so fast squaring.
On the drive, Page scoops it with the left hand, no. And it's Howell tearing down his 16th rebound. Fast and furious at Chapel Hill here today. Wood again, fires, there's another one, another 3 for Scott Wood. Well, he started the game with 302 career threes, the active leader in the ACC. The whistle has stopped the clock, a 4-point NC State advantage.
Well, he's now up to 307, sir, because he's 5 for 9, and this guy can flat shoot you into a basketball game. And we talked about this to start the game. When they need points, they run plays for this guy. He doesn't need space. The pass is on time and on target. Carolina late, and Wood is percolating.
ESPN.com and with the Watch ESPN app. The Wolfpack jumping into the lead, 49-45. Why have they done it?
Well, because I talked at the half about their turnovers. They had 12, resulting in 16 Carolina points. This half, 0 turnovers, and they have the lead. And after an abysmal 0 for 15 stretch, they've made 7 of 9 shots, and thus they have the lead.
And Scott Wood, the man catching fire. McAdoo, Bullock there for that weak side rebound. Here's Hairston with a long one. Boy, McAdoo got up high, spins and gets it. Man, did he get up there. Here comes Leslie back in the game. He draws the foul. Page thought he got all ball. And to no one's surprise here in the Smith Center, most of the folks agree.
Roy Williams challenged James Michael McAdoo to be a better offensive rebounder. He has the athleticism necessary. He is skying through the air and flat out jumps Richard Howell.
C.J. Leslie at the line, and with that miss, he's still frozen at 2 points with 6 turnovers. McAdoo with 14. Leslie, who averages 16, can't hit anything. He's missed all 4 of his foul shots today. And yet, NC State clings to a 2-point advantage. What
did you call him, an enigma before?
He's certainly enigmatic.
I think even diehard Wolfpack fans would agree with that assessment.
Oh, there are state fans sitting at home pulling their hair out, wondering why Mark Godfrey put him back in.
See what's coming up tonight, the rest of the evening on our ESPN family of networks. Huge one there for Kentucky against Missouri. North Carolina and Kentucky have agreed to continue their series, by the way.
I love it. Two Titans, they should play. Now, C.J. Leslie's the kind of guy that can score 6 or 8 in a hurry, too, remember.
Shot clock is at 3. Bullock can't bury it. Another scuffle for the rebound, and guess who? Howell comes away with it. Doesn't he get every rebound?
It feels like it.
Brown, and a blocking foul against Carolina. They got James Michael McAdoo on that call, his second foul.
Roy is off the bench. He is screaming he's hot. Yeah, he's pretty upset. Now, one thing is the driver out of control. To me, the driver is out of control there.
It's not going to make Roy feel any better. That sore throat he's already battling. Brown will set it up now for the Wolfpack. On top, 49-47. Howell working on Hairston. Strong in the lane, the follow away. Hairston out-fought Leslie for the rebound.
To me, Hairston and Bullock have played tough. They're giving up inches, size, and they've had the battle, and they have.
Brown with a reach-in foul against NC State. Well, you and I have done a lot of Carolina games. And I think we both agree that Hairston's just flat tough.
Yeah, he is guarding up. He's got to be physically tough, and he's done it.
He drives hard to his right on Leslie, and one. It's another version of toughness.
Well, thank you for the backup, Mr. Hairston, because there's physical and mental toughness on both ends. This is a hard drive through contact, using the window. That takes some upper body strength and a little bit of touch.
Well, here's Carolina at the foul line for the first time all day. No three-point play, but it's Bullock with a huge rebound. Now he fakes on the baseline, takes a tumble. Loose, and he asked for a timeout, and he got it. Timeout, Carolina. 9:52 to go. Tied at 49. I thought rivalry week was over, but not here at Chapel Hill. Howell already has 17 rebounds, but McAdoo is beginning to take over here in the second half.
Getting some assistance from his guards, Bullock and Hairston on the glass.
Hairston on Wood. Shot clock at 14. McAdoo working on Howell. His turnaround, too strong. Leslie with a rebound. We haven't called his name very often today.
He does not shoot a lot of free throws, McAdoo, because of those kinds of shots, right? The fadeaway. A little more finesse than power, unless he's in transition.
Howell underneath. I think they were thinking Wood on the outside wing.
There's no question. That is created because Carolina is so concerned with Scott Wood burning them from three. That won't show up in a stat sheet, but that is Wood's effect.
Page thought about it. Back for McAdoo. Wants to get in close. Banked it, and a foul will go against McAdoo. That'll be his third on the chart.
Well, watch this. On the right-hand side of your screen, you are going to just see Scott Wood working his backside off to get open. And James Michael McAdoo is concerned with helping his teammate because he hedges just a smidge. Good find from the point guard spot. Really just good passing, good playmaking.
Again, 3 on McAdoo with 8:43 remaining here at the Smith Center. Brown in the lane. Warren with the leaner. Got it to go. He's coming off a massive effort against Florida State. He had 31 in that game. He has 8 today.
So much to his game. You know, he's got 3 offensive boards today. That's helping. I mean, Howell's been a monster, but he's the next best rebounder.
Bullock straight on. Yes! A 3. That tightens it up to a 1-point game. Leslie spinning. That's his move in the stuff.
Crowd wanted an offensive foul.
I agree with the no call.
Very quiet day for C.J. Leslie, but time to get noisy. McAdoo setting the screen. Now Strickland.
This is where Carolina has to help each other in their motion offense. Get each other open.
Strickland in the air, flips it up, no. And a whistle, a foul in the lane will go against NC State. 7:42 remaining. A 3-point lead for the Wolfpack, trying to sweep the season series from Carolina.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is presented by 5 Hour Energy. What will you do in 5 hours? And in part by the Lincoln Motor Company. And Reese's Peanut Butter Cups. The perfect combination of chocolate and peanut butter.
Time series, 147-76 under Roy Williams. North Carolina's won 19 out of 21 matchups. But back in January, it was the Wolfpack besting the Tar Heels 91-83. Really owned that game except for a period where Carolina closed the gap. But as Roy told us before the game, he said by that point they knew the game was over.
Yes.
Different story today for Mark Gottfried and his team, 55-52. Bullock will be at the line after Brown's second foul for NC State.
And that last offensive rebound was his 12th. And ACC coaches will tell you for Carolina, because they don't have that dominant interior big man, you think of their front line a year ago, their guards have got to help them rebound. And Bullock has been outstanding all year there.
He has 15 in the game. Wood has some room to shoot. Off the front of the iron. Chased down by Warren on the baseline. A hustle play, but he threw it away. McAdoo with the theft. McDonald gives it up. Page waiting, now firing. North Carolina by 2. And a timeout away from the ball. Wood got hit upside the head. Scott Wood bending over at the waist. He got drilled. Looks like he's holding onto the right ear.
Is this a double foul here?
It is.
Double foul, number 2.
Yeah.
So Wood was on one side of that foul, and Leslie McDonald the other.
Here's the action right here where you're looking, guys. Far side, a forearm shiver to the neck. And a little response. That's why it's a good double foul call.
So the foul is even at 6. And NC State will have the ball here.
Listen, that left arm going up into the chest and throat and neck of the Carolina player. I think Roy looking for an explanation. And how about this young man? He got absolutely schooled in Raleigh, and he has stepped up and made a couple of threes in a big moment.
So the offensive team on a double foul like that retains possession. The shot clock stays where it is at 28 seconds. Over the top for Brown. 7 minutes to go.
Mismatch Howell Hairston inside. Not that you go to Howell a ton, that you call plays for him, but Hairston's got his hands full.
It's Wood. Couldn't get off a shot there. Swings it back out high for Brown. Shot clock at 7. Down to 5. The bounce for Warren. Out it goes. Almost saved there, but the shot clock has expired. So turned over for the 14th time. Back over to North Carolina.
Boy, that defensive stance got the Carolina coaches, Roy Williams and our former colleague Hubert, was off the bench pumping his fist, applauding the effort defensively, taking away Wood as hard as they did. Good stand by Carolina.
Oh, a big collision in the lane, and down goes McDonald.
Foul against NC State. Stops the clock with 6.5 to play. That'll go on Howell. Richard Howell's second.
Third place, sole possession of third place at stake here. But it goes beyond that. You know, these two teams don't like one another. Not much distance separates them.
Well, that foul puts Carolina at the line for a 1-and-1. And the first one buried by McDonald. The ACC now. If you missed it earlier, Miami lost for the first time in the conference today. They went on the road, and Wake Forest really hit them hard. That was not a close game. Kind of felt that was coming the way things have been going for Miami.
Yeah, they've dodged a couple of bullets. A Kaji three, a tip-in by Reggie Johnson. I think it'll help them in the long run.
Boy, listen to this place. It is loud. 59-55. Howell, the pull-up jumper, got it.
Wow. I don't want to make my living off him using dribbles to create shots, but that's a tough move.
Very unusual for him, you're right. What a game, 13 points, 17 rebounds. Bullet straight on for three. A 5-point Carolina lead. Wood, a wild shot, just barely nicking the iron. McAdoo saved it. Up ahead for McDonald. Bullock, no! Could not convert on the fast break. Look at Brown working down low. Denied by Page, and he took it away. Harrison to Bullock, and he'll settle it down.
One thing you're seeing from NC State, they want to win this badly, but it can't become hero ball and individual effort. You've seen that the last two possessions.
Page trying to take the baseline, and a foul, and he made it. .501 left. Wood with the personal foul. Could turn into a three-point play for Marcus Page.
This young man was over his head the last time these two teams played. In the second half, he has been dynamite. A three, the adjustment air, 8 points all in the second half. How about that young man step up and play?
And 7 assists. And as important as anything, not turning the ball over.
Exactly.
Timeout, NC State. The Tar Heels have the Wolfpack in trouble at Chapel Hill. The NCAA tournament, both of these.
I like that Virginia's in. They play a very tough brand of defense. Now, there's work to be done, clearly. Maryland still has a chance. Won this afternoon.
Well, the Maryland loss to Boston College right after that great victory over Duke certainly hurt them.
No question.
Purvis tosses that one out of play. And that was out of the timeout.
Yeah, that was McDonald recognizing the freshman under duress. Last 3 minutes, 4 turnovers after doing such a good job out of the gates here in the second half.
So approaching 4.5 minutes to go. Carolina on top, 65-57. Looking for revenge after the January defeat. Page got airborne. McAdoo with the spin and a whistle. Draws the foul for 26 to play.
See, in the half court, Carolina is so different from what they have been traditionally. You think inside out. You think living here at the free throw line. But they've had to change. And Roy Williams said, listen, I'm still uncomfortable with the 4-guard lineup, but this is what gives us our best chance to win, and he's right.
Howell with his third foul. McAdoo does not do terribly well at the line, where he shoots his 57%.
There's so much room for growth. Another year of college basketball would do James Michael McAdoo a world of good. But the reality is, in the NBA draft, you know, experts are calling it historically weak. We're going to lose a lot of college basketball players because of that.
And a lot of college basketball players who aren't ready necessarily.
Correct, and I think your decision should be about your second contract as much as it is your first.
Well, Bullock did a great job to keep that alive for North Carolina.
after the miss by McAdoo. 4:15 left here at Chapel Hill. Tar Heels trying to pick up their 19th win. NC State already has 19. Page up high for Bullock. Won't wait. He fires. Got it. 21 for Bullock. This is the biggest lead today. 11. Here's Wood to answer. No. Rebound tip. That's not there. Page to penetrate, and he was kicked and fouled there. No basket. Fouled well before that by Lewis.
Yeah, Carolina looking for a little redemption. Roy Williams knows what this rivalry means. You think that man is fired up? Forget the cold. And this young man was flat outplayed, out of his depth on the road in Raleigh. Not here in Chapel Hill. Threes, drives, passes. This is a play everybody runs. Bullock took a foul to the head. I thought still made the jumper, and Carolina rolling.
Once. And as you mentioned, Doris, he's been huge in the second half.
Well, they are on a 17-2 run now. And the point guard matchup starting to even out. Lorenzo Brown, 12 assists. 11 and 8 for Mr. Page. Good response by the young man.
Will they get C.J. Leslie involved? Here he is up high. Throws it at 4 points. Trying to make a one-on-one play. Leans in and gets it to go.
Boy, he's so tough to contain. He's slithery. Good handle in traffic.
Some pressure broken by Carolina. Here's McDonald. An 11-point lead for the Tar Heels. Approaching 3 minutes to go.
Again, a four-guard lineup. Better spacing, but they still have to help one another get open with their screening ability.
Shot clock down to 10. Page calls for play. Shot clock at 5. He's taking it himself. He scoops it and gets it. He's had a half, hasn't he? Here's Brown. Front iron. Picks his own miss and out of play.
Marcus Page is exhausted, folks. When that shot clock went inside of 10, Roy wanted him to pick up the pace. It probably occurred a little bit slower than Roy wanted, but how about the degree of difficulty? Nice handle by the young man. Switches, remember. A lefty going to his right. Pretty stuff.
McAdoo tosses that one out of play, intended for Bullock. Look at Roy Williams.
That's a good job by Bullock. There was some frustration from McAdoo. You get to your teammate. It's all right. We're all right. Communication, such an important part of this game.
Brown jumping into the lane and contact blocking foul on James Michael McAdoo. Stops the clock at 2:19 to go. That'll be his fourth. And time for NC State to shoot. At the line for a 1-and-1. So Brown will go to the stripe, 79%. Leading the ACC in assists per game.
Second in steals. Career active leader in assists.
He has 12 assists today. He had 13 against Syracuse last year when they were #1. McAdoo with the rebound.
Now you're pushing up a little bit because you need to make some things happen if you're State. If you're Carolina, you want to be efficient, use the clock, get a good shot every trip up the floor.
Tar Heels with back-to-back wins. They've gone to the smaller lineup with Hairston, one of the 5. And it's been paying off. Shot clock down to 8. Under 2 minutes to go. And a reach-in foul to stop the clock. That was with 5 on the shot clock. ESPN's Journey to the Tourney, a season-long spotlight on games impacting the tournament. Tonight at 6, right after our game, it's the Wooden Award candidate Doug McDermott and Creighton facing St. Mary's, the Ramada Worldwide Bracket Busters on ESPN. The foul will be on T.J. Warren, his 3rd.
We'll look at the free throw line. See, the free shot clock days, this would have been where Dean Smith went to the 4 corners. I used to go crazy. I'd be scared to death they'd turn it over and it'd go into transition. It'd be an easy opportunity for the opponent.
That changed a lot of things in college basketball. Here's Warren on the run. Taking it hard to the iron. Howell with a miss. Oh, and the look on Mark Gottfried's face was priceless. It was like, what else is going to go wrong today? He could not stuff it down. Under 90 to go.
Carolina was looking for a signature win against a quality team. This one will help them, but their ACC schedule heading out of here is not easy, Dave O'Brien.
Here's Page with a miss in close. I think Carolina's had the toughest schedule of any ACC team.
Yep, they have. And Duke would be second.
Well, North Carolina on their way to their 19th win, under a minute. Warren with a follow for 2 and a timeout. Mark Gottfried with 57 seconds to play. 73-61. Now look at the North Carolina tournament resume. I haven't seen anything by anybody that would indicate they're in trouble for the NCAA tournament. But 18-8, about to go, you would think, to 9-5 in the conference and break a 3-way tie. Strength of schedule, as you point out, is big for them.
BPI is big as well, and they'll have many opportunities with what's remaining on their schedule. You have an opportunity against your rival Duke, obviously. And that will be the last regular season game. At Maryland will not be easy. Florida State will come at you with a lot of big bodies inside, so another matchup where that 4-guard lineup will be tested. I love that Roy said it. He says, listen, I'm still uncomfortable with it. You know, you think his philosophy over the years has been big man inside out and half court. They just don't have that option available.
Bullock still deep in the backcourt, now up ahead. Page fouled by Leslie.
Boy, what a forgettable night for Mr. Leslie. Brutal.
Well, averaging 16 points, 8 rebounds. Nowhere near those numbers tonight. Well, tomorrow afternoon at 1, ESPN bringing you a Big Ten battle. The Fighting Illini looking to score an upset as they hit the road to face number 7 Michigan. Sunday showcase on ESPN. Is Trey Burke your player of the year?
Yeah, you know, I think he has to be. There's still work to be done. Clearly, Oladipo is riding great momentum. And I had said early in the year he was my favorite Indiana player to watch besides Mr. Holds, because I think I just love that kid's toughness. I think it's interesting in Conference Player of the Year for the ACC, so many teammates that might pull away from each other, right? I mean, who's most valuable on Miami? Haji, Larkin, Duke? Is it Plumlee or Curry?
Well, I don't think we've had a game where Seth Curry didn't score 25.
He's been dynamite.
Been tremendous. Carolina's been outstanding today. They have taken it to the NC State Wolfpack. They have returned the favor from their January meeting. And so there will be no NC State sweep this year. Roy Williams and his Tar Heels in what has been a thunderously loud arena today, about to knock off NC State.
They took this game over about 7:42. It's been a 22-6 run. Make it 23-6.
And before and right at that 7 minutes, it was nip and tuck.
Oh, yeah.
This game could have gone either way. I think Roy's going to try and get his starters out of the game. Indeed he is. And going to get a big ovation for these guys, the guys leading the floor. Well, a lot has been made about Roy's decision to go to the smaller lineup and how well it's working.
I think as much about the smaller lineup, it was about their approach today. He was all over them in practice yesterday about not being casual.
So North Carolina will improve to 19-8. NC State will be 19-8 after the defeat. Brown will lay it up and in. He had a very good game in a losing effort. Lorenzo Brown. The good news for the Wolfpack is he appears to be healthy again, almost all the way back. Not quite 100% with that ankle, but close enough.
Yeah, he's critical, and I think that's something that will be taken into consideration for seeding and NCAA tournament placement for State.
Well, Roy Williams now 10-0 in his career against NC State here as the head coach of Carolina at the Smith Center. Their final score today, 76-65.